Hello and welcome to Shelley's Sacred Space and our Tarot Tidbits. We are looking at the same card in 4 different decks to find the similarities and differences. We are using the Rider-Waite Radiant version, the Fifth Spirit Tarot, the Somnia Tarot, and the Green Witch Tarot. So let's get started. Our first card is Justice. Justice represents impartiality, fairness, balance, decision, can be legal situations, doing the right thing, hypocrisy, biases, injustice, accountability, clarity, logic. It brings a sense of right over wrong, of doing the right thing, of looking at all views to make decisions and to implement the justice within a choice or a decision. Some of the symbols in the Justice card are the pillars. Now they represent spirit and the intellect coming together and materializing into the physical. We have the stone throne. Now, it's hard, it's firm, and the traditional Rider-Waite Justice is sitting on the throne. Behind is a purple curtain that represents wisdom and inner knowing and following that and doing right by that. So it's not just what's right for you, it's right for the greater good. Now, in this card, I just want to point out the throne or the stone is actually crumbling. And that to me lets me know that this traditional way of doing things is starting to fall apart. There's some change coming and some change that's happening. And in this card, Justice is on top of that. She's like, I'm not sitting here no more. Let's go. So it's a very interesting card when you're looking at this one. It changes a little bit because of that. Otherwise, you're looking at very traditional rules and ways. Now, the sword represents how the justice is served. And it's cold and it's steel or metal and it's cutting and it's hard and there's no softness to it. It will cut the truth out. Okay. Now, the balance, the scales though, balance that out a little bit because it looks at all aspects, not just the logical part. So it might balance a bit of the emotion and it might balance the facts and it might balance the greater good and it might balance the individual. So it kind of has that balance part, but it's still impartial. It's not, there's not part on the scale that's holding it already. So it's like you have to balance to that. So it really is impartial. It can represent legal matters, but doesn't necessarily have to. It could just be doing the right thing for everyone involved and knowing the difference between that. What I do want to show here is the white robe. So behind the white robe is extra material that's almost flowing down, reminds me of water. So it's almost like as much as you want to have that emotional attachment, you need to put it behind you in order to truly deliver the right justice, if that makes sense. It is really about knowing your emotions, but not letting them play a role in the choice. You can acknowledge them, but you don't carry them through with your decision in regards to this card. Now, what the subject of the justice is could be presented by the cards that are surrounding it. And again, depending on whether you read reversed or you're looking at the cards around, will tell you whether it's a positive or a negative. Like, is it clarity that you need or clarity that you have and justice that you need to serve? Is it doing the right thing or is it not knowing what the right thing is and needing to look into that a little bit more? And that's when you get into the balance versus emotion and logic and what's the best choice. Okay, so that is your justice card. Our next card is the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is about patience. It's about contemplation. It's about looking at things from a different view. It can represent feeling trapped. It can be a fresh perspective. It can be something on hold, suspension, being in limbo. It can also be about sacrifice for the gain. So kind of like, hold on a second, step back, be patient for a minute because something better is coming along if you just wait. We have somebody who's suspended. One leg is straight and one leg is bent. The bent leg creates an inverted four. Now on this one, they actually designed it so that when you flipped it over, you could see the four. But in the rest, it's reversed. The four is about stability. So even though you're suspended and unsure, you're still stable. And also, because it's bent and the other one is secure, it offers freedom. So now we have stability and freedom within the confinement of the Hanged One. I call that, because I love that name, the Hanged One. Now, the tied leg is about being trapped. And then we have the tree. So the living tree represents a couple different things. The roots, which go down into the ground, can almost equal being rooted into the underworld. The tree itself is the living tree, which means there's growth within it. Even when you don't see it happening, it's happening. And then with the branches reaching up, or the idea of a tree with the branches reaching up, you're reaching into the heavens. So it really represents the support of heaven, the grounding into the underworld, and then the connection and surrender by choice. And the last part that's there a lot is the halo. So you'll see that. Now the halo represents that higher connection. So the Hanged One is not just hanging around doing nothing. We're connecting. We're contemplating the cosmos. We're contemplating God. We're contemplating the universe, the higher good, all of that. We are looking at that while we are sitting around, hung upside down. So it's a reminder that even in stillness, you can be focused on the higher power. What I have to say I really like about this card is it shows the reflection, which to me brings in the looking at yourself in a new perspective might help you to see situations differently. When I first saw that card, that's what drew me to it right away was the fact that it's like, oh, there's a reflection there. And it's almost a case of self-reflection and looking at your part of the situation in a different view may be helpful. Now, I do want to point out this one also, because we have the figure 8 in there that the Oak King is drawing on, which talks about its cycles, right? So if we remember, the figure 8 represents infinity and that it's a constant learning and that we should never stop looking at things from other views and different perspectives. In fact, we learn more when we can do that. So that's what the reminder is for that one. So that is the Hanged one. Thank you so much for joining me. Our next cards will be card 13 and 14. So that is Death and the Tower. It'll be a fun time. We'll see you then. Bye for now.